Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Trying to figure out, I might not wear my glasses because these old cheaters are a little blurry today. So we'll see. I might do a lot of squinting. I might be putting my glasses on and off. So, anyways, hello. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you all. Yeah. So here we are. Here we are. Here we are. I'm gonna say hi to some people. Oh, I didn't mute my phone. That would help. All right. Who do we got here? I see Creepy Bee. I see Simply Good. Hello, Sin. CO Bilf. Hello, friends. SPTV fan. Yay. Happy Chaos Peggy is backstage in StreamYard. Thank you so much, Peggy. Lene. Hey, Lene. Who else we got? Joel, our friend Joel. Yes. Hello to all. Well, I guess it's Friday, so here we go. Yes, here we are. Hey, we got Sophia and who else? I'm gonna scroll back up, make sure SBTV fan. Hello. Scroll back down. Lydia Von Stretchclaw. Hello, hello. Pup Groomer 20. Hey, friend. Susan P. Tampa B. Susan P. in Tampa B. Hey, Barbara. Liz Gale. Hey, Liz Gale. Liz effing Gale. I love you, Liz. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. Veronica Bombria. Susie Q. Olga. Wow. Oh, hi. Wow. Armine. I hope you guys are going to do a lot of the talking. Clearwater Cheryl, Miss Sunrise Dawn. Oh my goodness, Linda. Hi, everybody. I will try to greet as many more people as I can. Roxy, Bonnie, Nico. Yeah, I feel like romper room. Yes, and I see Kat Andy, and I see So here we are. I want to be here to hold space for the community in any capacity that I can. I was hoping to talk about something else today. I've snuck in a few live streams this week that have to do with other subjects, like friendship, like what happens when a cult leader dies or goes to jail, which is something that is I've been thinking a lot about because my own former cult leader, Marlene Sweeney, I like to say her name any chance I get. I found out she's dying of cancer. So there's been a lot of introspection about that in my part, a little bit of soul searching. And I want to talk a lot about soul searching today. And also, I did a little live stream on nonprofits, my journey into starting a nonprofit with the help of a lot of people and having a lot of input from different people from different walks of life, and also in the nonprofit sector, what I've learned and some of my thoughts on what's going on now. So if you want to check that out, it's called Giving Hearts. And I think it was nonprofits and charity. So if you want to check that out, I can, share my thoughts on that. And so here we are. I saw the stream last night that Erin did with Rabbit from Down the Rabbit Hole. And I thought it was really good that she did that because it was good that it was removed from the SPTV sphere. I don't even think that correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it streamed on Erin's channel. And it was good to have an outsider's, perspective on it. And I guess she's been covering it and interviewing different people. So I thought it was good that it was done by somebody who's not, in in the whole, sausage making realm here, So yeah, I wanted to talk about so I named this Down the Personal Rabbit Holes, and it was a little bit of a pun or a spin on Rabbit's channel, Down Rabbit Holes, but we talk about rabbit holes all the time, right? And usually it's like kind of a negative thing. It's like, oh, down that rabbit hole. Oh, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But I was thinking of it in different ways. Um, Going down someone's personal rabbit hole, meaning if you are delving into someone's personal life, that's not a good thing. I mean, it's not really anyone's business. Sometimes it comes out if you are a public figure. Oftentimes you're under scrutiny. So hate to use the word fair game because that's terrible. That's a terrible concept, and especially in this realm. But I was thinking of it as my own journey in the past 4 months that I've had my channel. Has it been 4 months? But I've been pretty active in SPTV since February of this year. And so I don't know, you do the math. Is that like 10 months, 9 months, 10 months? And I've been on like a personal journey too. I came into this just crocheting some bobblehead outfits and got to know some people and started talking about my story. I didn't divulge everything all at once. I couldn't handle it. And even up to this week, I've had some friends in this community say to me, "Oh my God, Marilyn, I learn something new about you every week," because like I really wasn't ready to talk about certain things at certain times. So as I felt comfortable and as I've dealt with it myself and come to terms with it, and it seems appropriate at the time, I had never shared with you about um, Thanksgiving and why it's been really hard time of year for me, especially the past 5 years, because I lost my sister on Thanksgiving to cancer 5 years ago, and that was the starting point of me doing starting my nonprofit. And like I said, I um, didn't necessarily identify the need in the community. The community need identified me, and then the rest is history. So I've been down my own personal rabbit holes in the past 16 years, leaving the cult, and not only leaving the cult, but coming to terms with a lot of the trauma that I had pretty much since birth. Um, my my presence in this earth broke up a family, broke up a marriage, and I've had, well, there's 8 of us. There were 8 of us. I've had 7 siblings in my nucleus family. 7 if you count Rosemary, who was my mom's adopted child that she adopted way before any of us were born. And out of those 8, there's only myself and my brother David still with us, still living on this earth. And I lost one brother to suicide when I was 3, 3 to the fire, and 2 to illness. Sherry, my closest sister, who was 12 years older than me, but close to my heart, passed away 5 years ago, as I said. And so there's been a lot of things that I've had to come to terms with. And I won't sit here and say that I'm healed. I won't sit here and say that, oh, I've done all the work that way, therefore I can tell everybody else what to do. No, I can't. I can't. I can tell you some observations that I've seen. I can tell you some things that I've learned along the way. Um, I don't cram things down people's throat. Therapy and counseling has really helped me to deconstruct and unravel some things and learn. Being able to be open to other perspectives, and not only in my own world of people that think like me, that act like me. I've really tried to kind of get out of my comfort zone and learn from others and learn a little bit about how the world works. So it's been really difficult for me to share things, but I've felt like if it can help somebody else, I'm willing to do that. And this channel has sort of grown into a space. I hope it feels like a safe space. I really want to. I know I'm 11 minutes in already, but I want to do a little bit of housekeeping as well. Um, Moderating a channel is not an easy job. I really respect and value my mods. I trust them, and I'm open to all different opinions as long as people aren't bullying others. I don't want a lot of like just spamming your opinion. You know, it's like you can state your opinion a few times. Please don't be tagging people, trying to set them straight, or from either quote side. You know, I don't want to take sides here, but at the same time, right is right, and you are going to hear some probably pretty strong opinions. Again, just my opinion. If you don't agree with me, it's absolutely fine. But I do want to get input from people. I have Peggy. She's going to be starting questions. If you have a question or a comment that you want to be read by me, please put question or comment in the front of your comment. And yeah, I really want to be able to hold space for everyone. And I wish that this was over. I wish that we weren't talking about this today. There's a lot of other subjects I really want to talk about, but also, um, I'll be honest, I was, I wasn't super surprised with what I heard last night because I have heard whispers and I've had things come across my plate a little bit. And I forgot what date exactly it was. It was in May. I got a anonymous message that was a post request to be put on my Facebook group, Coffee Cults and Crafts, and that person did not know that when you post an anonymous um, post on a Facebook group, the creator of the group, the admin sees who you are, and it was very accusatory, very explosive, and I sent the screenshot to the person it was about, well, to Aaron. He explained some things to me. We weren't, we're still not super close or anything. We talk now, but that woman's accusations kind of backfired because it actually opened up some communication, so and I don't know if it's OSA. I'm kind of glad that Aaron was saying I don't blame everything on OSA because it's kind of like in my call it was like everything was blamed on the devil, like the devil made me do it, and don't give the devil any credit. Don't give. I'm saying OSA and the devil like interchangeably. I'm laughing because that's what I do. I'm sorry, guys. If you're not used to me, you're gonna know that I have a dark sense of humor and I laugh when I'm nervous. I laugh at a lot of things. But yeah, it's like we can't blame everything on OSA. There comes a time when you have to take responsibility for your own actions. So, yeah, I I really can't see today. Sorry, guys. Right. So, yeah, I just had a couple notes I'll share with you. I was talking about like doing the work. If you leave a cult or you leave a tough, relationship, abusive relationship, you've had narcissistic abuse, you've had torture, you've had all kinds of different things. Um, there's a certain amount of damage that it can do to you, and doing the work could be not necessarily therapy, but I know that, in my case, and a lot of cases that I've heard is that, a lot of religions, and, cults, whatever, high control groups, some of them, most of them, as far as destructive cults, will, kind of program their followers that, they're the only ones that have the truth. And oftentimes, therapy and counseling and outside, psychological treatment is bad. Oftentimes, the medical field is bad. You don't really go to doctors because why would you if this program has the answers, right? So that is something that's really ingrained. Something that I was thinking about that's ingrained in me is to this day. I'm going to laugh again. Sorry, guys, because I'm goofy. If someone walked into this room right now with a Ouija board, right? And I know that they're harmless, but I know that I would have a reaction because I was taught that those were of the devil. Those were like the worst things ever. Fortune tellers, tea leaves, like feel like breaking open my tea leaf. Oh, I've got different strokes. Yeah, sometimes I feel like that. And sometimes I feel like saying, "What you talking about, Willis?" Hi, Helen. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. Yeah. So, if someone came in with, tarot cards or something, I would just be like, "Ugh." So, I do understand that, people coming out of a cult, if there's, there might be a tendency to not seek help. And sometimes there's shame involved, sometimes there's just confusion, shock. So, to be put from to come from that, um, situation into basically a world stage in a way, that must be really, really hard, you know? So, um and it's been hard for me. I mean, up until a year ago, I couldn't even utter Marlene Sweeney's name, you know? So, there's a personal journey, but there's also, a responsibility when you are, on a a public in a public forum. It does matter, and it matters. I hate saying sides, but Aaron has acknowledged the fact that he has made some missteps. As far as his marriage, his personal life, that is nobody's business, but people make it their business, and he's been gracious to, be transparent about that, even though he didn't have to, even though he didn't need to. You know, um, I'm seeing some comments. I'm gonna star. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. All right. So, from the other perspective, there's been a lot of kind of there's been a lot of assumptions, because when you're not coming forward with information, there's a lot of assumptions that can happen. And, this whole thing of being, hush hush about things, being, and you can watch my thing about the nonprofits. It's not really best practices, and it's really not okay. If you're making a public appeal for funds and support, you really need to consider, the people that are supporting you, and that's my opinion. So, I'm going to go through a couple of comments, and then we can pick up a couple other points. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure out which the best way to. I'm late, made it. Oh, hi. I think I said hi to Helen. I don't know what's going on with the clicking here. I'm just going to check in with Peggy and see if she's trying to message me. Okay. All right. It's a learning curve with this StreamYard thing. Yeah. So let me go up. All right. Just checking on some things. Okay. Sorry for all the housekeeping stuff, guys. All right. Okay. All right. Lene, hey Lene, comment. I'm gonna put it up. Comment here to support you. Talk about what you need to. Thank you, Lene. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. I'm gonna put my glasses on and off. Inappropriate have. Hello. Emotions can pull you into bad situations, and saying you were wrong is important. I'm wrong sometimes, and yes, I'm always sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, and I think people respect that, and, I do. I appreciate that when someone can admit that they're wrong, and I think that, one of the things that really keeps, my family, tight, like me and my kids, is that, when I'm wrong, I really try to own it and say, "Hey, guys, you know, I was wrong, and I'm really sorry." And usually they're like, "Oh, it's okay, mom." And it's like, "No, it wasn't okay, but, I'm glad they forgive me, and I want them to know that I'm human, and that they can come to me. It's not like, 'Oh, because I said so. I said it, and that's it.'" And granted, they are in their 20s, and, I was raised in that whole "because I said so" thing, and I was told to be that way with my kids when we were in the cult. But I think that, one of the reasons why I'm close to them now is because I'm like, "Hey, guys, I'm human. I make mistakes, and I talk to them, and I accept them and let them talk to me," you know? So, Kayla, hey, Kayla, "I have kept quiet, but I have to speak or I will lose my mind now. That's what we're here for. Nobody should have been put in a situation to air to the world every aspect of their personal life. He is a father, number one. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. I'm going to say that right now. Yep. I absolutely agree with that. Kimberly Stovall, comment. One thing I haven't heard mentioned is that when applying for grants that I know Claire has been doing, if there's any controversy, the charity gets passed by. It isn't black and white to me. Okay. One thing I haven't heard mentioned when applying for grants that I know Claire has been doing, if there's any controversy, the charity gets passed. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. And that could be. I don't know how I don't know as to what the laws are regarding a private. I believe the Aftermath is a private foundation, so I don't know if other foundations give grants to other foundations. I just don't know. That's something, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an expert. I know a little more about public charities. Um, Getting grants, I don't believe they would be eligible for public funding or government grants. We've gotten some grants from foundations, and we meaning the nonprofit that I founded, have gotten some grants from like United Way, which was just government funds. We don't take um, other. Yeah, we mostly stay away from government funds because there's a lot. There's a lot of red tape when it comes to that. But yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like I've said over and over in my last few streams, I did dig out the bylaws that we use as a template. And again, I'm going to say this again because I can't help it. Sorry, guys. It wasn't written in the 1950s. It has nothing to do with spiritual, moral, traditional values. But it does say, and I'll just quote it so I'm not misquoting. Um, and maybe I would have challenged this if I'd seen it. I did see it. I did read the whole thing, but I didn't know anything about starting a nonprofit. But I kind of agree with this, and I kind of almost disagree with this. You'll see what you guys think. So in the bylaws of, I'll call it BHH, because I'm not here to promote or fundraise for my own nonprofit that I founded, not my own, I don't own it. BHH, it says Article 2, Section 7, removal of directors. Directors may be removed from office at any time with or without cause by a majority vote of the directors then in office. So my fellow board members could decide that they don't like I said, the color lipstick I'm wearing that day. They could vote me out. The reason they probably won't is because they do have to answer to the stakeholders. The stakeholders are the board members, the donors, the supporters, the community, the population to which they serve, you know, um, the press, if the press gets involved. So those are the things that most nonprofits take into consideration and should take into consideration. That if you're putting out an appeal to funds, you don't have to give a reason why you vote somebody out. You don't have to, but should you? If it's asked by people that have a stake in your cause, probably, because nobody owns a nonprofit. And yeah, I think that there's some lessons here. I think that people may have learned pretty quickly that that's not okay to just do a quick switcheroo on a website and shove it under the rug, or just be like, oh, that person's no longer with us. Yeah, that's what cults do. That's not what the real world does. That's not. I don't think that's gonna fly, but yeah. So, hey, we got Joel. My experience in life has taught me that credibility is important. In my opinion, MMC have lost credibility and a lot of respect. I have said that before, and that I was surprised that they were so tone deaf. Um, I I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that statement. And I'm not attacking them personally. I think they're all wonderful people. My heart goes out to Claire specifically, as Mike Brown said in Rosemary's son. As he said in his statement last week after this whole thing happened, he didn't agree with what how it went down, but he did say that Claire does all the heavy lifting in that foundation. And I I really hope that there's changes, and I hope that people will be able to come forward. I think they do have a few people that help uh, that are wonderful, like Clara and different people that do you know, contract type things. But it's hard to be a board member doing the executive and the governing arm and the everyday day-to-day operations. And I know what that's like because mine's all volunteer. We have no you know, employees at all. Having my dining room taken over with all kinds of stuff, making care packages and things like that. We've had to scale down because we just don't have all of the help that we would like to. And the I was doing a lot of the, you know, the board type things, but also a lot of the administrative stuff. And it was just way more than full time. Definitely wouldn't be able to have a YouTube channel doing all that. So I've kind of, you know, we've all agreed to kind of scale back and do things like gift cards and scale it back to our original mission. And that's another thing too. I don't know what the actual mission statement is of the aftermath, but I know many nonprofits that have had to you know, constantly go back to the mission statement. What are we here for? And yeah, I'll talk about some things later, but I want to hear what you all have to say. Okay. Gina, hey Gina, unpopular opinion. That's okay. I believe I believe his truth. I understand why the rest of the board wanted him to step away. I'm reflecting on myself because I've never looked at things so differently than people before. It's okay. It's okay to have differences, and I see your point. Yeah, they are within their rights to remove someone. The fact that they brought that up, I thought was a little bit weak. Just because that's not really what the consensus of the community is. But I could see, you know, like I said, I'll defend their right to remove anybody, but they've got to be willing to take the consequences and take the flack and actually talk about it. You know, this thing of there's another thing I want to bring up, but I might bring it up later. This thing of just, you know, what happened last Monday and then making that statement and then it's been tumbleweed. And I know that, you know, people are traveling and all that, but I'm still seeing podcasts and things being posted and, you know, private emails being posted. Well, not recently, but, you know, last week. Um, Things like, I don't know, like just checking in and saying they're gonna post and they're eventually gonna go live. Can they slip a like just maybe a 2 sentence apology in there? You know, I mean, they have internet. They obviously have internet. Maybe just slip a little like, hey guys, I know you're upset, you know, and I don't know, something like that. Just sorry, anything, something. So that's just my opinion. My opinion. Pause for Andrea. Hey, Andrea. That's so much loss and trauma, Marilyn Rose. Well, thank you for saying that. Yeah, for those who don't know, Marilyn Rose, Rose was my birth middle name, and Rose was the name of my mom. And when I was adopted, my middle name was changed to Anne. So I've often talked about taking that back because, yeah, those are my roots. And yeah, Marilyn Ann was a timid person that couldn't speak out, that couldn't think for herself, that didn't know her favorite color, which was purple. Um, and Marilyn Rose is, you know, a little spicy, as Kelly Copter would say. So yeah, thank you for saying that. Roxy. Hey, Roxy. In my case, as a vet, I don't know about resources available for my PTSD at the VA. I was fortunate to receive very healing treatment, but I suffered till I was 54 years old. Oh, I'm glad you're getting some healing treatment. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that's very, very important. And to know the resources out there, and that's a good point. Excuse me, guys. That's a good point that Liz Scale made on her stream the other day. So many good points. If you haven't seen it, you've been living under a rock, no, just kidding. But if you're one of the few people that have not seen Liz Gale's stream with Cassie Marie from No Culty Vibes, I Highly recommend it. In fact, I really wanna watch that again. Um, she said, "Oh, am I a little blurry or is that just my eyes?" Oh, a little better. Um, she said that when people come out of Scientology, they feel, and I don't wanna quote because I don't have the exact words, but basically, there's not just physical needs, there's a lot of, they've suffered a lot of trauma, and she had written a letter to the board back in 2018 and said, recommended that they have more diversity on the board. That, and I'm not talking about race, just race, or at all. I'm talking about representation, different ages, different, somebody from the LGBTQ community. I think that's important, very important. And Aaron said last night that there will be in his new foundation that he's founding, that there will be more of a representation. Also, some type of support, like a social worker, or some type of trauma counselor, somebody to guide them. And I know that just making it available, not necessarily being foundation of the clues, moral, yeah, emotional support would be awesome. Absolutely. Because it's not just that, it's not just needing sustenance and somewhere to live or to go. That too, that's very, very important. But yeah, there needs to really be more of a support system, and some checks and balances too. When it comes to that, I think that, like I said the other day about having like an advisory board, maybe with some professionals on there that can at least give advice and give some type of understanding of those pieces of recovery. And I'll say this right now, and I wrote it down. I would like to see in this space a little more, and there are several creators that are focusing on recovery. I'd like to see more talk about recovery, and I'd also like to see more talk about the nuances of cult indoctrination, not only with Scientology, and course of control. And there are several, and I could start listing the channels that are stepping up to do this. And I'm a little bit of a variety. Like I just whatever people tend to want to talk about or is on my heart, I'll talk about. But I've talked about several cults. We've talked about all kinds of things that sometimes have culty nuances. Not that they're not cults, but different groups. Like we've talked about AA. We've talked about several different ones. Not I'm not saying AA is bad. It isn't. It isn't bad. So yeah, I think that a focus on recovery as well would be beneficial, definitely. Not that, Helen. I'm sure I watched the entire live with my jaw hitting the floor. Devastating for Aaron, but geez, I hope he feels some peace now. Yeah, I hope he feels some relief. I know. I agree. My jaw was hitting the floor too. And I keep feeling like whenever I say something, I got to be like, well, I'm not saying he's perfect, but I think you guys know that nobody's perfect. But that was just not okay. Yeah. And he didn't, if there's no other smoking gun guys, I mean, I'm inclined to believe what he had to say. And there's no police report. And this woman has contacted me several times in my group, and I can tell you right now, she seems pretty effing nuts. So that's just that's my assessment of it. So Creepy B5, can anyone here imagine telling 10,000 people your personal life? And there's a part of it. Yeah, and several of his streams have gotten 100,000 views. I know, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I wouldn't want that. Not at all. Michelle R. I can't believe the torture this woman inflicted on Aaron. It's ridiculous and frightening. To deal with that and also the drama surrounding the foundation is beyond what one person should deal with. Yeah, I hear you. I agree. Pat O. They should have resigned and started their own foundation instead of ousting Aaron from the one he started. Okay. Yeah, I have some thoughts on that. And I've said it before, no one owns a nonprofit, and they could step down. or they could shake it up and half step down, maybe one of each couple, something like that. If it gets to where, and I'm not calling for any resignations. I'm telling you right now, don't anybody quote me and say the board should resign. I'm just saying if they decided to, the funds would have to go to another nonprofit. I'm just saying that. And it's, the Aftermath Foundation is a nonprofit. It's an entity. It's not a person. It's not a group of people. So it would still be there. If it was dissolved, it would. There's a legal ramifications. You would have to legally dissolve it and give the funds to another nonprofit. And that's the law. So, oh, CEO Bill, hello, hello. Former board member at a 501c3. I think big foundations worried about controversy would have avoided Aftermath Foundation regardless. Scientology adjacent things are kind of inherently spicy. Yep, I agree with that 100%. You're probably right. Yep. And again, I don't know how much of their, see, from what I understand, again, I'm not a lawyer, that foundations, I mean, I guess they could give to each other, but um also, a lot of it comes from private donors. You when you have a public charity, you have to be very careful not to load it with big donors, because that it's all about accountability and balance, guys. It is. It's just common sense. It's common sense. Um, like we have a lot of small donors and it's very small. We only have to have like a postcard 990, because anything under $50,000, which our budget is way under that, way under that. But I agree, the bigger you get, it becomes more complicated. And having like big like whales, like they call in Scientologists, big whales giving money, they're going to want to tell the foundation or the nonprofit what to do. And that's that's not good to have just a few people, but having the group as a whole, the community as a whole, it I think that's good, because it does provide checks and balances, and it does provide some input. So, um, I think that having some representatives or some liaisons, to come to um, the people and say, "Hey, what are some of your concerns? What are some of your suggestions?" I haven't heard any of that. We don't need to know who they're who's escaping or who they're saving, or we don't need to know any of that. And I excuse me. I will say this, and I'm gonna try to tread lightly on this. But there's a lot of, I think there should be confidentiality about who they help, and that nobody is entitled to anyone's story. But if someone chooses to come out and say the Aftermath helped me, and tell how that happened, that's totally their right. I have heard recently, and you all that heard Liz Scales stream the other day, that she had gone to the Aftermath Foundation early on in, I think, 2018, and she was turned down. Could have been because they just didn't have the funds at that point. There could have been, there, I guess, was a little bit of perception of favoritism. I'm not speaking to that. I don't know. And I think their motives are good. I'm not, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. Now, Liz said that all of a sudden, I can't remember if it was before or after, Aaron was ousted. She found out that she had been chosen for her son to get some monies for a scholarship. And I hope you took it, Liz. I really hope you took it. There's been a couple other cases. I'm not going to name names, that people recently, not 2018, 2023 or 2020, recently, within the last few months or the last few years, pretty recently, have gone to the Aftermath Foundation, and as far as I know, they've had quite a bit of funding this past year, because of the advent of SBTV, has turned some people down, and now all of a sudden they are going to help them. I'm happy with a change of heart. These people really need the help, and I'm glad they're getting it. The timing, I'm not going to really speak on that, but everyone can draw their own conclusions, but I wish we didn't have to draw conclusions. I wish that there was a little more forthcoming about it, because if you everything's so backhanded and hush hush when the people that are actually being helped are talking about it. I don't know. I kind of feel like there needs to be a little bit more of a across the board thing, or something, so that it looks fair, because optics do matter. You know, you can say, "Oh, I don't care what anybody thinks." Well, you really should care what the community that is supporting you thinks. You really, really should care. You really should care. So, okay. Got that out. Sorry, guys. No, I'm not sorry. I'm saying what I'm saying, and I'll stand by it. I'll stand by it. Clearwater Cheryl. "Hey, Aaron is human. Anyone see that pic of Mark, the one Osa used against him? We all make mistakes." Yeah, was that him laying Hollywood Boulevard? Yeah, I mean, tell you, I before the internet, yeah, I had a sow my oats time. Um, Reminds me of, "Hey, little girl, I got some candy. Come into my van. I'll give you some." I'm not sure what that means, but oh, okay. Well, I'll get back to that. I love your comments though, Hap. You're so funny. um, yeah. What was I saying? Sorry, I got distracted by that because I knew it would be funny because it's Hap. Um, yeah, sorry. If anybody wants to tell me what I was talking about, because I really can't remember. Yeah, so let me just take the next comment and I'm sure it'll come to me. Um, Oh, yeah, okay, I know what I was saying. I'll put Cheryl up back up. Yeah, I know what I was saying. Yeah, I did some things on Cape Cod that I'm not proud of, and if, like, nothing illegal, but yeah, I got a little rowdy. I had escaped, a culty situation. I was yet to join a big, dark, scary cult because I felt so guilty about, getting a little rowdy on the Cape, But yeah, I think I, passed out on some sand dunes and stuff like that, and if people had taken a picture and they're seeing it now, I'd own it. I'd be like, yeah, I got a little crazy. I'm not really doing that anymore. Learned my lesson, and it is what it is, right? People can make their own decisions whether they want to support me or not, you know. Cat, hey Cat, being forced to confess to so many private things about his personal life must be terrible. He acknowledged that he was careless with his public persona, but he should never have to expose himself. Yeah, and I do think of his wife and kids. Yeah, it's that they haven't done anything. They haven't done anything. So, Sophia, I never really understood why people cared as much about what's happening in a marriage in the first place. If there is an agreement, they co-parent well in the same house and are honest to themselves. Yeah, it's nobody's business. Absolutely. Nobody's business. Keela comment, the organization and board members are protected by the corporate veil. One is not the other. The corporate veil is hard to breach. Yeah, it is it is a corporation. There are some protections, and again, they they haven't done anything illegal. They've done things within their rights, but people, and I'm not calling for resignations, and I'm not calling for anybody to not support the Aftermath Foundation. I think the Aftermath Foundation does great things and should go on, but um I do think that people do vote with their support and they vote with their money. So they can corporate veil all they want, but I think I think the people and the image and the your reputation is very, very important. That's one of the first things I learned about nonprofits. Yeah, besides how the sausage is made, DNV 1983. Hello there. Things go in the real world. Okay, things go in the real world. Aaron needs grace. Maybe the foundation does too. However, the way this whole situation was handled was not good by them. I agree. I agree that Aaron's needs grace, and I agree that the the foundation board members need grace. I was just thinking, whether I agree or not, there was a lot of issues that was like, ooh, cringe and blood boil and all that. Well, I saw Claire reading that statement the night before Thanksgiving. All I could think of is like, people can judge facial expressions and body language and all that. and saying, "Oh, she's so cold. What I saw was a mom who had 39 people coming for dinner for Thanksgiving dinner, and she had to make turkey, probably several turkeys for 39 people. I can't imagine that big of a turkey for that many people. And I saw like exhaustion and fear and like terror, yeah, have a little grace, but at the same time, people have to be accountable for their actions and their words. So yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah. Lene said MMC were supposed to be his good friends despite aftermath. Oh, they should have talked to him before. Yeah. I mean, according to them, I think they said that they tried a long time. Yeah, and that's why I think there should be diversity. And again, I'm saying diversity and okay, let's see a variety. I won't even say diversity because then people start, sending me messages like me. That's racist. They even say diversity is supposedly whatever. And that burns my biscuits, guys, when people do that, because it just burns my biscuits because nobody should. Yeah, okay, I'll stop that. Anyways, yes, there should be a variety because when you have your best friends on a board, it worked from the beginning. It worked in the beginning, but you're getting bigger, you're getting more public, you're asking the public for funds, you're out there to add another couple to oust the two that aren't married, the two guys, and then out and then put in another upper level couple, Sea York couple. And there were, some talk of like things about like, well, they don't want any civilians on there. They are civilians, guys. They are civilians. They're not military. They're not public, they're not they're not. They are civilians, but they don't represent all of the people that they're helping. And like Liz Gale said, there was a lot of what they call moral injury, right? Janja Lalich says that Ash told me about. I got to give people credit because I didn't come up with this stuff. And it happened in my cult. The snitch culture, the oppressing others, the abusing others for the quote greater good. Some of these people felt or were abused by some of these upper level. They were sent to the RPF, or they felt abused or were abused or were abused. So to go to your former abusers for monetary help, that could be very intimidating and very humbling. And if any of them knew about this moral, spiritual, traditional hullabaloo crap, in my opinion, in the bylaws, I wouldn't measure up, I no. And traditional and spiritual were the two that really burned my biscuits. Really burned my biscuits. Okay. Anyways, shake that off. I hate when my biscuits get burned. All right. Yes. I'll go to the next one. Sophia, a cult and/or trauma expert should probably be part of the board or in leadership. Yeah. I would agree with that, or definitely at least be some type of advisor or some type of volunteer support. Definitely. Okay. Oh, a foundation that includes emotional support. Yes, I read that before, but I'll read it again. That's a really good one. Really good one. Okay, Joel McCoy comment. From a PR crisis standpoint, the Aftermath board has made nothing but mistakes. At this point, they are sunk. Nothing they can say or do will help much. They waited too long. The damage is done. I hope that's not true. I mean, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. And from the beginning, what you said about a PR crisis standpoint, yeah, maybe they should have had a PR person, or at least reached out to people that they trusted that were of, like you're told you have an illness, right? You get a second opinion sometimes, right? Maybe the way that they've been operating, and going back to what I said about getting, doing the work, getting the help of to deconstruct and maybe not think the way you did so much in the cult, like Liz Gale said, hey, your Scientology showing, maybe they should have had somebody from the outside or from a different level of ex-Scientologists, a different perspective to give them some PR advice. And I think an apology would go a long way. I do think that there needs to be changes. It's like my adopted dad was very wise, and I said this. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Some of the old sayings he would say, like "Lord willing and the creek don't rise," and if you say you can't do something, he'd say "Can't never tried," right? So he. Now I can't remember his saying because there's so many of them, but yeah, I think that just coming to terms with it and try again. But at the same time, apology would, I think, go a long way, but you kind of have to own your stuff, you know. So I always think of like what would my kids called him Poppy. What would Poppy say about this? He had a lot of wisdom. And Joel, you kind of reminded me of him. Yeah. But I hope it's not lost. I think that yeah, just some honesty and some transparency would be in order here. Keela McDonald. Hey, Keela. I understand what his concern is about being impervious to fair game. He was very wise to know that, but unfortunately, it seems that's what's happened to him. Yeah. Um, there's been a lot of comments saying to basically addressing the board and saying, be careful that you don't become like what you're trying to fight against. And there's been some comments and posts and community pages and little videos that different ex-Scientologists have done that made some sense to me as far as what this kind of looked like. Again, I'm not um I'm not judging anyone's motives, but again, optics are important. And I think that some of these things to other ex-Scientologists looked like an old-fashioned ethics handling, looked like that report looked like a KR. And you can judge for yourself, but it did look a little fair gamey. Yeah, it did seem that way. But again, I'm not judging any motives. But I think that there needs to be some different ways of operating, you know, really. Susie Q, it's good that you're learning. Maybe you can teach other normies. And it's good that you're learning. Maybe you can teach other normies. Yeah, I'm not sure what normies mean, like just people that haven't been in a cult. Yeah, I think we all can relate to some level and we should listen to each other. And this how can we listen to each other if we're not allowed to talk? You know? And I'm not talking about gossip. I'm not talking about ripping people's character down. I'm not talking about dragging people through the mud or going on and on. I wasn't planning on talking about this today. But because it's timely and like I said the other day, I feel a responsibility to my small, group of people that show up every morning to interact with me. Um, I like to keep my finger on the pulse of the people that are important to me. And all of you are important to me and how you're feeling. And so yeah, I'm here to hold space. And and see what you think and let you talk about it and then we can move on. We can talk about lots of other stuff. I don't like talking about trauma all the time. I don't like talking about trauma and drama and all the things that rhyme with that. Llamas. Well, no, llamas are cute. Llamas are cute. So, all right. Lene, uh, question. Where do, Matt and Amy stand on all this? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they voted pretty almost unanimously. I think the one vote that wasn't counted for to vote Aaron out was what's his name? Is it Ray Jeffries? What the lawyer that's on the board. So I don't know. I don't think they've made a statement. I don't pretend to know where they stand, but they did vote him out. So that's I guess where they stand on that. Love it. If there's no apology by now, they're not sorry. They learn to F over their friends in the cult. On top of that, they showed no care and concern for his kids. Um, yeah, I thought I just remembered what I was gonna say about, I'm not smiling at this, I'm smiling at my dad, who passed away 12 years ago now. I call him my dad. He was the only father figure I ever had, my adopted dad. Um, and he always said, "Don't be s be sorry, don't be sorry you got caught." Like, he was the one that said, "Can't, never tried," right? So, are you really sorry or are you just sorry you got caught? So, yeah, I think that there needs to be some changes and there needs to be some real soul searching. Um, even a nonprofit, even though it's a thing, it's not a people, it's not a group, it can have some corrections and some quote soul searching itself. So yeah, I um I think you make some good points and I understand what you're saying. I get you. I get what you're saying. Gypsy Daisy. Hey, Gypsy Daisy. As an imperfect person myself, I have deep compassion for Aaron. I agree. I agree with that. And I'm saying I agree. I'm saying my opinions. Guys, I think there comes a time, I think anyone that's been with me for the past couple weeks or whatever, but it was the past week and a half, I have been pretty liberal with pretty free with my opinions. I stopped short of quote taking sides. I'm still not taking sides as far as against any people. I will take a side. I will take a stand saying that, oh, Kimberly, I feel so much love in here. Hey, Tampa B. Um, I will take a stand in saying that right is right. And I think that a lot of the things that were done by the Aftermath board are wrong and need correction and need an apology. The way, we I'm sure Mike didn't mean all of SBTV or all the people that didn't agree with him on that stream, but it did feel kind of blankety and kind of dismissive and hurtful. And I haven't heard an apology about that. He's putting out podcasts without Apostate Alex and all this, and he obviously has internet. He obviously has internet. So just saying. Sorry, I'm like that burns my biscuits. When I don't want to say something really bad, I just say that burns my biscuits. Okay. Sophia, I would also think that offering scholarships for people studying to become counselors with a coercive system focus would be a great idea to make sure people that are interested can do it. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, maybe send it to them. Guys, seriously. Somebody said the other day, like, "Oh, it'd be nice to have a never in on the board." Well, definitely not me. I have too much on my plate, and that's not something that I would want to do. But I was like, "Why don't if you think maybe that's you, offer or send an email to Aaron, and like if you have suggestions, let him know. I don't see the harm in that. I really don't at all. Um, okay. Kimberly, okay, comment. I just looked up private foundations can receive grants from other charities. Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know because I've never founded or run a nonprofit, a foundation, a private foundation. I do know that they do have a little bit more paperwork to do at the end of the year, their fiscal year. Fiscal year can be any time that they establish. Ours is July 1st. I think theirs might be in January, but yeah, they have like an extra form to fill out. I think the idea behind that is so that you don't have any like whales coming in and doing that. But that's good to know. Other charities can good. That's good. Hey Liz Gale. It makes me super sad to think about the Aftermath Foundation dissolving. I'd like to see some change to move forward to success. I agree. It has value in the community. It's still for the sake of education and awareness. Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. I really hope that just some changes are made and they'll go on because they have been doing great things and they will continue to hopefully. And I'm not saying not to support them. I'm just saying that yeah, there needs to be a little bit of a change in my opinion. So I agree with that, definitely. Sorry, I can't read. Incarnasoul. If Rinder stays, the foundation should be renamed. All right, I put that out there. I don't have an opinion on that at all. I hear you. Kimberly Stovall. I'm frustrated that people want to burn foundation down over yeah, I'm hoping that's not the case, 'cause I certainly don't. No, I agree with you, Kimberly. That's frustrating and that's hurtful. But there may need to be a shakeup. Again, the Aftermath Foundation is separate from the people that are on the board. In my case, we vote in new or not new, but we re-vote. I can say it once a year. Yeah. So at our annual meeting every year, initial officers, persons, fixed date by these bylaws. But yeah, anyways, I don't want to bore you all with it, but yeah, we revote every year. I don't know if they have terms in the aftermath. Maybe they should. There's boards that will have like half of the members are voted in every other year. Voted back in. If anybody wants to quote run for it or go for that position, then it's a majority vote. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know how that works. Terry Bakewell, very disappointed in Mike, Mark, Mitch, and Chris Shelton. So disgusting. Mike, Mark, Mitch, and Chris Shelton. Okay. Yeah, I think that they've all said things. Mitch and well, I've already said my opinion about Mike and Mark's dealings with the aftermath. The Mitch, I'm not sure. I have heard him say some criticisms of Aaron. That's his opinion. I don't agree with him. And Chris Shelton, no comment. No comment on that. But I'm just gonna read your stuff. I'm not gonna comment on everything because some of my opinions probably are just mostly conjecture or just not enough to really come out and say anything about it. But I just want your thoughts to be heard and to be out there. Rachel, hey Rachel Plato. Comment. I'm concerned about the desire for ownership. I've also worked in nonprofits, and ideally, we work to make sure the organization is actively able to be continued, passed on to do the work. Absolutely, that was perfect, in my opinion. I think that really says it all. Yes, the desire for ownership, the dick measuring, dick swinging about it, of who's the face of it, all that. Yes, I've seen that in the nonprofit sector, and we have done that as well. Is everyone on the board knows where things are, and has copies of things and knows what to do if any of us, God forbid, or Xenu forbid, gets hit by a bus or whatever. We have backups and also to be continued and passed on to the work, because it is not a person, a group of people. It's not owned by anybody. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Thank you for bringing that up. Pat O, it's not the foundation we want to go away. It's the ones who currently burning it down themselves. I hear you. I hear you. Kat, it astounds me that the people who have been fair gamed would try to fair game Aaron. Yeah, I don't know as they've fair gamed him, but some of the behaviors I've seen are reminiscent of that. And yeah, maybe that's kind of the way they were that they were programmed and they were used to operating. But yeah, let's do the work and get over this, guys. There's other ways to operate. There's other ways. There's some more healthy ways to function, especially when you're dealing with a nonprofit. So love it. I would fully expect an element of delayed adolescence from someone who grew up in a cult and got free. To me, it's NBD. I don't know those acronyms. My kids would know. Like a no-brainer. I don't know. I fully expect an element of delayed adolescence from someone who grew up in a cult. Yeah, I mean, definitely would have some things that you're some blind spots, and yeah, maybe some delayed yeah. I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, so I don't know, but I think with me, I definitely had some blind spots and some reactions. Oh, no big deal. Thank you, Clara. I appreciate that. You teach me all those, Clara. I know. You guys are so hip, cool. Yeah. Um, George Massey. Hey, George. Good to see you. Aaron was traumatized in LA. The Aftermath Foundation chose to re-traumatize him. They more than they more than most should understand the damage. So my eyes are blurry, guys. Should understand the damage that they have potentially inflicted. The optics are bad. They could have handled it better. Yep, I agree with that. That I don't have anything to add to that. Thank you, George. Keela, Aaron is a father. I'm having a hard time getting past that. He shouldn't have ever been forced to tell the world his private life. Yeah. And I'm going to say this, and I think those of you that know me even a little bit would totally understand where I'm coming from. I can take a lot. I can take a lot of abuse. I can take a lot, but you fuck with my kids and the gloves are off, and people were really some people were hard on Aaron about like, oh look at, just like they did with Claire, which I don't agree with that either. Oh look at him, he's being so emotional, he's a hothead, he's this and that. Yeah, well, you know what, he felt like he was being pressured to go out there and spill something that was nobody else's business about his marriage and potentially hurt his children. And yeah, I I think that's sorry. I get a little choked up. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But I agree, Kayla. Yep. And yeah, mother bear, father bear. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Kimberly, Claire was breaking my heart. She looked scared. I agree. I agree. And yeah, that was sad. Lene, poor Claire. Maybe she should have waited until after Thanksgiving to start all this. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they felt like I don't know. Maybe they felt like they wanted to like get it over with so that they could try to concentrate on their family, which I could understand. Poet. I hate when my biscuits get burned, Marilyn. 1st of December, 2023. Yes. Hopefully it's only the 1st of December, 2023 that my biscuits will be burned. But yeah, Clara and Kelly, who just ended up inadvertently designing a mug because they each gave me some designs that I put together, and you can find it on my merch store. Like shameless plug, but I just got to tell you, it's so beautiful. There's now you guys know that now that I'm on the call, I know that my favorite color is purple, and Clara sent me a design with a purple skein of yarn and a purple rose, and with with the yarn through it, and because of my middle name, hopefully being Rose again someday. Excuse me. And there's that logo that's up on how do I do it? Oh, right there. That logo is on the other side of the mug with a little inscription. It's like a signature, Marilyn Honig, and then Coffee Cults and Crafts. So I ordered a sample. I'm so excited. I'll show it to you guys when it comes in. And yeah, so they were joking about doing a new mug design about something about don't burn my biscuits or something like that. Because I'm trying to not be too emphatic and too like harsh with my words. So if I get really upset, I just like that burns my biscuits. Yeah. SBTV fan. Oh, Marilyn Rose, here is fire department for your biscuit. Thanks. Thanks. I don't know why some things just make me tear up for no reason. Thanks, SBTV fan. Appreciate that. That's great. Yeah, just no, just having like the fire department thing with the burning biscuits. Yeah, and calling me Marilyn Rose, just woo, that combination. Thanks, you guys are awesome. I really enjoy spending time with you every morning. I really do, and hearing your input. And even if you don't agree with me, I like that too, because you know what? Like I said the other day, my board of directors,
A lot of them I don't really hang out with in real life, but they see things that I don't see, and they see things from perspectives that I have blind spots from where I came from, and I like that. I like that, and if I did something shitty and they wanted to vote me off, they probably wouldn't care what I thought. They would care what the community thought. So, yeah, um, and I like that. I think it's healthy, and I think it's healthy that we can talk and share in this little channel here. I love you guys, really do. Cherry Bakewell, definitely going to be saying that. Burns my biscuits from now on. Doesn't it though? Doesn't it sometimes? Oh, gee. No one dares burns Marilyn's biscuits. Not on our watch. Thank you, George. I appreciate that. Stop burning my biscuits. Lene, comment. I'm going to support local charities. I'm in a city of about 15,000. We have people and animals in need there. Everything is above board here. All right. Yeah. Um, I get that. That's totally fine. Totally fine. Clara, hey Clara. Hey sweetheart. I know I'm emotionally burnt out. If anyone feels the same, I'm sending them love. Yes, everyone, please send each other a heart. Send Clara some hearts. She works really hard. She works for the Aftermath Foundation. She works for 5 nonprofits, guys. 5 nonprofits. She designed tons of merch for the SP shop. She does so much. So please, guys, send her some hearts and send each other some hearts. Everybody, I want to see some hearts. And I've been on the starred question, so maybe you already did, but I'm gonna go back over to the live because I wanna see the hearts. You guys are amazing. All right. You guys are gonna make me tear up again. Yeah. We're a community, right? We care. And we're a parasocial community. We're not perfect. We've got issues. Oh, what is that? Trains? Fire? Oh, biscuits in the fire department. Biscuits burning, fire department, and love. Here you go, Clara. Here's some more hearts. And no, I'm not muted. I'm just taking this in. Sharon. Hey, Sharon. Good to see you. Marilyn, I don't comment very often on all the channels. I just have to say you're so genuine, and I look forward to watching you. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. Welcome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Cat with no hat. Cat but no hat. We're perfectly imperfect. That's right. That's right. Peggy. Hey, Peggy. Thank you so much for helping in the backstage. And thank you to all the mods. You guys are amazing. I don't have to worry because I know you got it under control. Thank you. Peggy said, Clara, sending you some love. I know your life is turned upside down right now. Yes, Clara, we love you. Sending you support and love. We all believe in each other. We believe in you, Clara. We all believe in each other. More. This is great, guys. Auntie Harju, send me one heart just to realize I'm a person. I wish I could send a heart from here, but I don't think I can from StreamYard. Let me try. All right, guys. I want to get on this too. Okay, let's do this. Okay. So there's one heart for Auntie, because that's what you asked for. And then Clara, I'll send her some purple hearts because she knows why. All right. Cassie Isaac. Hey, Cassie. Good to see you. Oh, butterflies. Sorry, my eyes are so. Is that an owl? I love that. Awesome. Kat, we are good to each other here. Yes, yes. And even if we don't agree, we we still respect each other and hold space for each other, right? Auntie, there you go. There you go, Auntie. Susan, thank thee. Oh, okay. That the King James version? Thank thee. Tampa B. Hey, Barbara. There's nothing but unconditional love in here. That's why I feel so at home here. Thank you. I appreciate that. And right back at you. I do feel like you all have accepted me the way I am with all of my, all of my shortcomings. And yeah, I'm a hot mess sometimes. I cry a lot on here. Sorry, guys. But yeah, cults don't have, that's one thing they don't have, is unconditional love. Everything's conditional. Abusive relationships, high control groups, everything's conditional. Their approval is contingent on whether you check your mind in at the door and you do what you're told, but nope, not here. Nope. Oh, the hearts keep coming. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. I appreciate that. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. We could be here all day with the hearts. I love it. Yeah. Oh, thank you, honey. We love you and your tears. Appreciate that. Rachel said, my new friend Rachel, our new friend Rachel, I wish everyone had access to conflict resolution training, therapy, and all the helpful things. Yeah, I agree. They can be. Aw, love you too, Kimberly. Thank you for being here. So glad you're here. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Colin, Colin. You do more for the community than you know. Thanks. And all of you do as well. All the mods, everyone who supports. You could be doing a lot of other things. You could be watching more different things on TV, YouTube, whatever. And I appreciate you being here. Really do. Barb, Marilyn, love your precious and accepting personality. Thanks, Barb. Appreciate that. I get like very embarrassed. And I appreciate I want to keep it real and keep me real, guys, too. I had a bunch of comments on it was only it was one person and then two people agreed. And so I said, thank you for the constructive criticism, because I was admonished, as they say in the Bible. That's what we said in the chart, the cult. But it's not a bad thing being admonished, being corrected for something in a way of trying to be constructive. So I was told to let Steve-O talk more, because I did interrupt. I was excited and I did interrupt him once or twice the other night. So probably twice. Yeah. So I apologize. And I said, thank you for the constructive criticism. And I will work on that. So I can take it. Usually, hopefully. Clearwater Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl. Good to see you. I was heartbroken last week thinking we were all breaking up. Glad we're still the beautiful community we're meant to be. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And like Erin said last night, it's, it's a community. It's not like a group, but it's SPTV isn't, you don't have to have, you have certain mindset. It's anyone that's speaking out against Scientology. And in my case, I speak out about a lot of stuff on different cults too, but and other people do too. But yeah, people can still do their videos. It doesn't matter. We don't have to cancel anybody. Yeah, it's just everybody can do their thing, and people choose to watch who they want, and it's fine. And one of the things I'm really hoping for this community, it doesn't have to be black and white. Like Steve and I don't agree on a lot of things. And he might not agree with most of what I'm saying right now. Who knows? But we're still friends. We still respect each other, even though we have a difference of opinion. And we may support different causes, and it's okay. And I keep saying this, and this is, I really can't say this enough, is that what more than one foundation or charity is a good thing. That way, like, there's more ways to help. I mean, there's thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of causes that have several different charities attached to that cause, right? animal rescue and homelessness and what I do, disaster relief and fire relief, and like we kind of pick up where the Red Cross, they can only do so much with the Red Cross. So locally, mine is very local to the northern half of a certain county in Massachusetts, but we kind of fill in the gaps. So if I was like, oh, the Red Cross is already there. No, they need help. They need more supplementary help because one, one gift card of a couple $100 is not going to replace everything that people need when they lose their entire home, and all their belongings. So yeah, so I'm going to go back to the start, but that was nice to come out and talk to you. Oh, here we go. Steve. Oh, there he is. His ears are ringing. I don't know what you're saying yet, but I'm sending you a kiss. All right, Steve. You better not let me talk. I'll say something, someone will complain, and a creator with 10x the subs will leave the post up for over 5 minutes, making me question having a channel with 0 listeners. Who did that? Nobody's going to do that. Okay, let me read this again. I'm going to say something. No, I am not. I don't have 10x of your. I don't. Yeah, you probably have more than me. I mean, it doesn't matter. Leave our 5 minutes making the question having a channel with 0 listeners. You're not. Don't question having a channel. We love you, Steve-O. And even if we don't agree, why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Yeah, I love you, Steve-O. It's okay. We don't have to agree. Okay. I'm going to go back and I'm going to start something that Peggy just said so I can go back to it. Oh, did I start that, Peggy? I wanted to start something about when you get your channel going. I definitely want to read that because you probably won't start it. Okay. Oh, so I still had this start. Clara, I know I'm emotionally burnt out. If anyone feels the same, I'm sending them love. And we send it right back at you, right back to you. Inappropriate Huff. There is a fine line between giving proof and fair gaming. It's not something cut and dry. It's a very hard situation on both sides. Yeah, I agree with that. It is a very hard situation. And yeah, proof. Yeah, and there were quote receipts on both sides, and people can make up their own mind. Yeah, in my case, I'll be honest. I think that there were some things that were not that in the aftermath statement that were kind of vague, and some of it, I'm not saying it's fair gaming or whatever, but yeah, just publishing partial internal emails. Other people, people can decide for themselves what they think about that. Cherry Bakewell. Hey, Cherry. Aaron showed his worth to me by the way he supported the Jane Does. Nobody did more to bring their story to us. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And Aaron, when I was going through a tough time with a certain troll, he called me a few times and was very, very understanding, and said to me, the first thing he said to me is, I would never tell someone that's being hurt or victimized or a victim to be silent. He said, if I thought it would help and not hurt the situation more, I would speak out right now. It did kind of come out later on, but yeah, I know that he really does care, and he's very, very honest. And I still haven't seen a smoking gun, guys. I still, I don't know what that was talking about. That it's like, oh, he won't come clean, or he, wait, you wait. Henry Higgins, just you wait. Yeah. Sorry, we're breaking to song. You'll be sorry, but your tears will be too late. Your tears will be too late. Yeah, just you wait. It was this kind of just you wait thing. It was like, oh, it's going to come out and he's not going to come clean and there's going to be a smoking gun. I still haven't seen it. Guys. And I hope I don't, because it doesn't, but if there is, I still haven't seen it. So just saying. Creepy B. Hey, thank you for giving space for this. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. And thank you, Creepy B5. been here, pretty, been very, very faithful listener and viewer, and giving input. I appreciate that. Oh, Keela, oh, thank you for the super chat, honey. Appreciate that. Marilyn, thank you for holding this space and allowing us to just get the emotional stuff out. I truly thank you for letting us be here. Love, love you all. I truly do. Thanks. I feel the same. I really appreciate that, Keela. Thank you for being here. Nicole, hey Nicole, Marilyn, I lost my father to pancreatic cancer on Christmas, so I get it. Sometimes things are hard to talk about, and you need your own time and space to be ready for it. Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry for your loss, and I do understand that. I really do. Yeah, it can be a hard time of year, and yeah, the day before Thanksgiving, I did a stream and we talked about that, how it can be hard for people. And I wasn't ready to share about my sister yet, but I was a week later. I did. And I think just talking about how um how that this time of year can be hard kind of made me feel like I could open up about it. So thank you. I really appreciate that. And again, I'm sorry for your loss. Lone Dinosaur 13, hey there. Maybe they are self-reflecting on how they could have handled it differently. Who knows? Maybe they are listening to channels and reflecting on the board. Time will tell. Yeah, yeah. I hope that. I hope that's true. I would think so. I mean, I have faith in them, and I know I keep pointing out Claire because I've had some interactions with her, and I think she's just such a lovely person, and I think there's been a lot of pressure on her. So I do have like a special affinity for her, but I do respect and I've said it over and over. Mike, Mark, Claire, all the OGs, Amy, Aaron, Liz Gale, all of the contributors of the Aftermath show, really helped me to understand what had happened to me in the call, that I had been in a call, and that while the language was different and it wasn't triggering to me, it helped me so much because helped me realize I wasn't alone, and to deprogram from a lot of the tactics, and to help recover. And so yeah, I feel like I owe them a debt of gratitude, but I also owe them to be truthful and honest, and I think they owe that to the community that is supporting them, and to the people that they're helping. And I'm not diminishing all their hard work and all of their devotion to the cause. But yeah, there sometimes needs to be a course correction, right? Okay. Kimberly, I don't agree that they didn't think of his kids. I think that was the motivation, at least by Claire, not to bring up the whys of it all. Yeah, and I totally respect that opinion. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I don't agree with the you know the higher, the moral, spiritual, traditional ground. But that, again, that was within their rights to do that. But I don't think they were prepared for the backlash for using that bylaw that they kind of dusted off from the archives. That was like a like a boilerplate thing. I could have just kind of stayed there, but yeah. But I do understand that optics are important on both sides. So they felt like they needed to remove him. Definitely could have been done a different way. So hey, CR Cinderella, hey, I love this chat. There is a world full of trauma we have to investigate here. Both sides of this need trauma counseling. Hell, I need trauma counseling after this. I'm sorry, that was really cute. That was funny. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got messages from two of my dear friends this morning being like, my head hurts, after watching that last night. Still waking up with a somebody called it in our chat the other day an emotional hangover. Yeah, I felt it. Yeah. Um, hell, I need trauma counseling after all this, and I don't have a monetary stake. Yeah. Yeah. Some people, and for better or for worse, there's critics that are saying, well, it's kind of your fault for having these like really, parasocial emotional attachments. And yeah, I think we all, can maybe take a lesson from here, not to put people on pedestals, not to expect more out of people just because they're in front of a camera than we expect from everyday people or ourselves. Yeah, people are human and don't worship them. That's what cults do. They worship charismatic leaders, right? So we don't want to do that. Cults be calling. Hey, cults be calling. We love that you give space for us to speak and sit in what is going on. Yeah, and we don't want to dwell on it forever, but for me, that's how and I know Reese says this too, is like she heals by being able to talk about things. And even if you're not even, that's why like I kind of joke around too. I kind of have that thing. I talk a lot more about trauma probably than she does. She's funny and she talks about like everything. I love that about her. But yeah, some people don't need to talk, some people do. And I'm one of them. And so I'm here to hold space for anyone else that needs to talk about things. So, Nicole, we are kindred spirits, Marilyn. I support you for sure. I hear, see, and feel you. Thank you. I feel the same way, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate that. Waterworks. I hate it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I love this community, and I'm here for you. Okay. Denver Stevo, what did Mitch actually do? Asking because I'm unaware of the criticism. Okay, so I've seen twice. I don't remember what happened with them doing their bull baiting debate thing, whatever. But I do remember a couple times, and more recently on Kelly Copter's stream, him saying that Aaron, he's been accusing Aaron of fat shaming, which I've never heard him do, maybe, but he's never felt me. And listen, guys, I mean, yeah, it's obvious that I'm not a skinny person. I've never felt fat shamed by him, and some other things too. I can't remember exactly, but you can go back and look. So, yeah, maybe these creators need to kind of talk to each other instead of dragging other people into it. But yeah, and I'll say this too. I have to decide whether I want to mention names or not. I'm not a huge fan of every single person's style. Now you, Steve, I love you. I'm not picking on you at all. I'm not a huge fan of every single creator's style. And I think that some people may act like, and I try not to do this. I try to say, hey guys, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not this, I'm not that. I was never in Scientology, but I think there could be, you can decide for yourself. There could be some clout chasing going on. There could be, and I always try to do that kind of self-check too. It's like, we can decide who we want to support and who we want to watch, right? And there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And so I do see some people that will say one thing behind the scenes and then present something else on screen. And I don't need to support that. And some people just rub me the wrong way. Some people just burn my biscuits. Okay. They just burn my biscuits, but I'm not going to be like, don't watch them, unsubscribe from them. No, they have the right to be here. If, I do think that, like Kelly said in one of her community posts, that authenticity wins out and authenticity lasts. And there are so many people here for the right reasons. And I'll say this again, everyone on the Aftermath board, and Aaron and Lewis, who is left, they all were in it for the right reasons. And I think they still are. And they've given up their lives. There are other people that are sort of newcomers that are being like, acting as if they deserve the same type of respect and continuity of support as someone who was born into this or someone who has dedicated their life to this. And I think people do need to kind of prove themselves, and people do need to slow their roll a little bit and not act like I don't know. I'm just going to stop there, but take that for what you will. And what you talking about, Marilyn? I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's kind of that kind of day. What you talking about? And yeah, I'll show this again. Sometimes I wake up feeling like that and I got to use this mug. And sorry about the blurriness, guys. Whenever I do that, did it work? Still blurry. Somebody taught me this, one of my viewers. Is that better? A little better? It'll work out. So Anyways, as long as I can read the questions. Okay. So I'm going to wind down. We'll be going about an hour and a half. Okay. Okay. Martha Simmons said, in defense of Mitch, he is new getting out, but needs to learn from this. Okay. Yep. Everyone can learn from all of this, right? I agree. Olga, I still don't understand how they couldn't say something nice about Aaron. Example given, he got us money and then give a standard BS like we are going in a different direction. Yeah, and I've heard some people take it, and I'll just because this was said publicly. I really like I when I think of the faces of the aftermath, I do think of like Serge Obolinski, of Rosemary Brown, and also Catherine Olson. And she's been through so much, and I really like her. She's such a dear person. I just really like her. She did say in her super chat that night on the stream, the notorious stream, that if it wasn't for Mike, Mark, and Claire, she wouldn't be where she was and everything. I'm pretty sure that Aaron talked to her too, or maybe even was the one who answered the phone. Maybe it was the first one that talked to her. I could be wrong, guys, but let's yeah. I don't think Aaron's getting enough credit for the work that he put in. Like Mike Brown said, Claire does most of the heavy lifting. I think that Aaron did a lot of the work. He did a lot of the networking. He talked to Reese. He did make the mistake of accidentally, doxing her, and she said that's the best thing that ever happened to her, even though it was an accident. So yeah, I do. I can agree with that. I don't think Aaron is getting enough credit. Mhm. And for the fundraising. So, Lydia Von Stretchclaw, Denver. He's doing the rounds of live chats shitting on Aaron. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not cool, but whatever. Everybody can make up their own mind, you know. Everybody can make up their own mind, and you know what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to say this is in some ways I'd almost rather have that, and you can totally disagree, and I don't even know what you talking about, Marilyn, right? What you talking about, Marilyn? I would rather see authenticity. So if that's what he thinks, say it. Name names, whatever. I know I'm not naming names, but yeah, there's others that I think are behind the scenes, trashing people, and then in front of the camera, coming on like everything's great. And Kelly called somebody out on her stream the other day, and yeah, I give her props for that, and she's standing by it. And yeah, I have some other issues with this person. It has nothing to do with what she said, although I do agree with what she said. Yeah, I think if you make promises on screen, you should fulfill them. If you're not going to fulfill them, explain why. Yeah, I'm just saying. Oh, shut up, Marilyn. I'm sorry, guys. That just burns my biscuits sometimes. Just does. Okay. Anyways, shake it off. Nicole, hey, I keep coming back, Marilyn, because you're real and sincere and speak from a point of compassion and lived experience, and that's important. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Nicole. I really try. That's my my goal is to be as real as possible, and yeah, nobody's perfect. Believe me, I'm like a hot mess sometimes. And sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying, but I'm trying. I'm trying, guys. CEO Bilf, just putting this out there, not saying I have evidence. The parallels between this and the David Edgar Love allegations flap are striking and support the plausibility of Osa being behind this. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. I'm not really sure, but yeah, put out whatever you guys want to say, as long as you're respectful. Yeah, just put it out there. It's all fine with me. Nicole, so if someone has ever had healthy behaviors modeled for them, are not always going to know how. Has never had healthy behaviors modeled for them, are not always going to know how to handle situations. So sorry if you hear my dogs. Shut the door. Hi, honey. Is that you or an ex-murderer? Oh, I'm probably gonna get demonetized for that. Oh well, I don't, it's worth it. It's funny. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I have compassion when people make mistakes and admit them. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's a really good point of sometimes that's like all you know. That's why I'm, a firm believer in doing the work of like getting a second opinion, right? Like not sitting in the way that you were raised, the way that you were used to operating. There's other more healthy ways than operating the way you did in a cult, you know. I found that to definitely be true. Definitely be true. Oh, Nicole again. We like your comments, I guess, because Peggy, I think Peggy had to go to work, but thank you, Peggy, if you're still here. Oh, you're still here. That's awesome. Thank you so much for all your starring the questions. And I'll try to go and say, get a couple more things from the chat before I wind down and say goodbye. Nicole, I'm a blogger, but there are painful things that I haven't shared there because I'm not ready or feel comfortable. People have agency to decide that for themselves, not have it decided for absolutely nobody. Right. Good point. Very good point. You make some excellent points. Right. Nobody has a right to force somebody to say things from their past, or um, nobody has a right to anyone's story or any part of anyone's story. I agree with that. And that's why I was very uh, slow and not slow. I mean, less than a year, right? 9 months in telling parts of my story, and there's still parts of it that I haven't told. And yeah, guys, there's more. It's just insane. That's why part of me doesn't want to even lay this on you. It's just awful. But yeah, I can totally understand that, and nobody has a right to force you to spill it, so to speak. Yeah, definitely. And I hope that yeah, I was just thinking about some other things is like, you know, like my friend Ash there from that So Fucked Up podcast calls it like cult porn is like people like run to the scene of the accident and get excited about it. These are people's lives. Yeah, these are people's lives, and it's not fun to go through, So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Pat, oh, hey, Pat. No one in my life understands why this affects me so much or how I can consider many of you my friends. I can't really explain it either. Yeah, I can understand that. Um, yeah, like my kids are like, Mom, what are you doing on the internet? Because I'll be like, what does this mean? They're like, what? But I am fortunate to have like Duncan. He watches a lot of the channels. He's always like, okay, what's going on in SPTV now? He doesn't watch as much as the stuff, but and plus he was in the cult with me, so he understands from that standpoint too. But yeah, my kids are just like, but they do like to hear about it, but they don't like to watch it that much. But they do like some of the merch, so I'm gonna give them some for Christmas. Yeah. Oh, Clara, I want a Denver Steve-O and Maryland podcast. Could listen to them talk all day. Ah, that's really sweet. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Put a one in the chat if you'd like me and Steve-O to do a semi-regular night program. Because we did get together and we were like half of the nutty notorious never ends and did Monday night, and yeah, it pretty much went viral on Steve-O, even though it was my idea, Steve-O. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm really glad for him. And he did get some of he said that he had lost some subs and then he gained them back and more so. Or maybe not the same ones, but yeah, Steve-O, he deserves to be heard. He's a good guy. And yeah, we don't always agree. We are sort of like sibling rivalry sometimes, like a little bit of like kind of like siblings sometimes. But yeah, yeah. Um, I think that would be fun to maybe do a regular show. Oh, lots of ones. Oh, lots of ones. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, Denver. We'll have to think about that. And oh, Peggy, have a great day. Have a great day at work. Thank you. Everyone send Peggy some love too. Thank you, Peggy. We are a team. We really all help each other. I love it. Tell us how you really feel, Steve. Oh, why? Um, All good. I lost them all after Oh, really? What? YouTube's so fickle. Oh, but Denver Steve, oh my goodness. Wait. I guess he really wants to. Okay, okay, Denver. All right, it's on. It's on. The gloves are off. Mm. Okay, I don't know what this was about, but totally disagree with you, Auntie. But hey, you do you. All right, I like that. I like that. We can disagree. We can disagree and say, "Hey, you do you." I don't know what you're disagreeing to, but um yeah, everyone's opinion is valid as long as you're not, I just don't like when people tag everybody and shove things down their throat and repeat themselves over and over and over and over and over, and it starts to feel trollish. That's when you're going to get a warning. Not you, Auntie. I'm just saying in general. Someone did last week, and I got some flack for it, but they were only coming in my chat when there was something controversial, and I'd never seen them in my chats before. And they were bugging my regulars and tagging them and just shoving their opinion down their throats over and over and over to where I'm looking here and I'm seeing them pretty much every third or fourth comment. And I said something and they didn't stop. So they're muted. They're out. So that's, and anybody can disagree with me, but it's like I don't care if people disagree. I think disagreements are healthy, but if it's starting to be trollish and being like spammy, that I don't go for that, because I don't want people avoiding my chat, especially people that are used to coming every morning and being heard and feeling comfortable to leave because of one or two people that are just being obnoxious. So yeah. I hope everybody understands that. Yep. Okay. Um Oh, I wanted to put this up for Peggy. Even though she was talking to Keela, that's so great. I would love to hear more about it. I'm not sure what the subject was, but she said, when I get my channel going, mental health talk is going to be a big part of it. Absolutely. Yes. And Peggy, if you're hearing this, I know you're on your way to work, but I'm there for it. And any way I can help, let me know. Yep. Roxy, I'm really glad I got the notification for your live this morning. I've never caught you live this morning or before. This has been nice, but I gotta go. Okay. Gotta go. Bye. Thank you for coming. Appreciate that. So, um, okay, everybody playing nice, I hope, right? Yeah. I want to be a producer on the podcast. Can I have a sound box? Are you talking to me? Talking to me and Steve? You can have anything you want. I don't even know what a sound box is. But sure. You can have anything. Oh, here we go. Cat, disagreement is natural. Respect is intolerable. Disrespect is intolerable. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. And Cat is one of my mods. So guys, if you need to get slowed down, first strike, then you get a warning. First strike. I didn't even talk to my mods about this, but that's why I assume they do. I don't really agree with deleting any comments. If you go to timeout, I think YouTube might delete them, but we don't delete comments, but unless it's like, a really bad, like swears or stuff like that. Although I do swear on here, but something really bad or really, really spammy. But I think if you could put in timeout, I think maybe YouTube does it. But if you're just spamming and just arguing with people, making people feel uncomfortable and bringing the vibe down in the chat, disagreements are fine. Disrespect's not. So, oh, that. Okay. I just want one of those boxes where I click buttons with silly sound effects. Oh, Steve-O has that. Steve-O has, of course he does. Denver Steve-O. I'm just clicking around. Sorry, guys. I'm not even getting the context. I grumbled that Rabbit skipped over my super chat. I'm sorry, that just struck me funny because I was grumbling about that last week. And then you were like, well, they read mine. And I'm like, Steve-O, they read mine last night. Sorry. Someone thought I was trashing Aaron, so they posted in Tommy's chat where he left it up. Oh, for several minutes. Ooh. Oh. Oh, well, yikes. Yeah. I'm sorry, Steve-O. Yeah. That sucks, but yeah. when you put stuff out there, I guess that can happen. I've had a lot of feedback about you said this, you said that. I'm like, yeah, I did say it. And if I shouldn't have, I apologize. Like interrupting you the other day, Steve. Oh, sorry about that. I was just excited and I wanted to, but no excuse. But yeah, I was excited and I just wanted to get my point across. And I thought we were debating. So I was just like, I disagree. But yeah, anything that I say online, I have to own it. If I didn't mean it, I can apologize. I'm just saying for me. Yeah, I think apologies go a long way. I do. Just for myself, I do. Um, Mama's got isn't it a squeeze box? Daddy never sleeps at night. All right, guys. What's today? It's Friday. Just keep an eye on my community page. Please like this video and comment if you have anything that I didn't get to. There's a lot of comments I wasn't able to. I got all the starred, but I appreciate you all being here. I really want to cover things that are close to your heart and that you're interested in. So if you have any suggestions, you can email me at, it's just the name of the channel, coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com. And love to hear from you if you have any suggestions or any thoughts. I do check my email once a day. I try to, and if I don't answer, I will get to it, and I will remember to check my spam box. So, it's been great to talk to you all today, and yeah, I'd love some feedback. I really want to continue this with just sharing. I like these morning musings where we kind of wake up and have. Oh, my tea is really cold, but tastes good. And just hang out with you guys. I do have some things coming up that we're going to talk about, more cults with some friends, more Scientology, more heart to hearts, and hopefully there won't be any like community drama. But hey, if it comes and we need to talk about it, we will, right? So yeah, everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.